Well, Damo, we watched training and everyone looked tired and we thought that looks like a good session, but then a couple of meetings afterwards didn't look as promising.
Oh, I was just speaking about making sure we're focused. You know, obviously game one of the semi-finals, it was a good hard session, and now it's about making sure that we're switched on mentally and physically, because it's going to be more about, you know, the game plan, style of play, opposed to probably how physical it'll be tomorrow, because we're going to taper back. So just making sure we're all switched on and doing all those cliche 1%ers between now and tip-off.
You've had a bit of a break. Is it a long period to remain focused on the job at hand?
Yeah, it's felt like a long time. Obviously the first few days were nice to get a bit of R&R, and now we've locked on to Brisbane, so it feels like it's been an extended break, which it has, but in particular when you're looking forward to a semi-final, that 24 hours feels much longer, and I have 10 days in between games. But in saying that, it means everyone will be fresh and ready to go come tip-off, and can't wait to get out there.
Do you still get nervous heading in? You've done it for so long, played so many playoff series, still get that knot in the stomach?
This far out, I'm just excited. It's by far the best time of the year, so you kind of get rejuvenated, feel fresh again mentally and physically. But ask me again, you know, an hour before tip-off, and I dare say there'll still be some butterflies, which is a good sign. So I'll be a bit nervous if they're not there.
Can I ask, just Greg chatted to the team at the end, anything in that?
Oh no, it wasn't anything at all. The start of the session, one team beat the other team quite convincingly, so it's just a matter of making sure we're locked on from the start. Obviously the first 5 minutes of a game can be a telltale of who owns the tempo, and so if we were to carry that performance over into Thursday, wouldn't necessarily be happy, but it was more so about between now and Thursday what we can do to make sure that we're not having any regrets.
Is it the danger of a long break that can take time to get going?
Yeah, definitely. You know, obviously it's a semi-final, so you're going to have a range of emotions. Some of the guys that have been here before on several occasions versus the guys that, you know, might be newbies to the club, such as a Nick Kay, where he's gone from first team all NBL. Now there's going to be pressure on him to perform on the biggest stage during the semi-finals in front of 14,000 people. But, you know, I dare say he's going to handle it really well. So it's about the older guys probably, you know, taking the lead and showing the young guys you should enjoy the process in the build-up to the game. And then once we step across the line, we've got to do what's had some success and got us here in the regular season.
Did Mitch do anything today?
Yeah, he was out there. He played a bit of 5-on-5 and actually looked really good. So he was probably Red's best player in that 5-on-5 scrimmage. So it's good to see Nordo back out there running around, and if we can get him suited up for a game or two, that'd be brilliant.
Does that give you confidence that he might be right?
Oh, yeah, I have no idea what our physio and doctors have told him, but the fact that he stepped across the line in a 5-on-5 scenario gives me a lot of confidence. But yeah, I'm yet to speak to him.
How long was he out there before he started blowing?
Look, if you look at the other court, he's working harder than most of us. So the worst thing about coming back from injury is the one-on-one relationship you have with our conditioning coach, and it's the old school, you know, full court sprints. Whereas you get to my age and you get to be on the other court playing a bit of 5-on-5 in the half court. So yeah, conditioning won't be a problem, but like any player, he'll fatigue just because under that pressure you do seem to run harder, cut harder screens. So it'll be exciting if we can get him out there.
Do you ping two calves this year? What's it like first came back? How difficult is it just getting back into the swing of things?
Yeah, I think it's the pace of the game that surprises you. It's one thing to be sprinting up and down on the sideline, but it's the change of direction, jump into the ball, and the communication. You know, the first thing that goes when you fatigue is talk, and talk's the most important thing in defence. So he'll be totally fine. He's done everything that's required to come back in a good condition from a calf injury, and his age is certainly on his side. So yeah, it's great for the playing group to know that, you know, Nordo's going to be back just around the corner.
Just around the corner, so it wouldn't be Thursday night, it'd be more likely a Saturday or a Monday if needed?
Yeah, I have no idea about Saturday. Obviously you guys saw who was training at the end there, and he wasn't in that 11, but in saying that, the fact that he's getting some minutes under his belt now in 5-on-5 scenarios means it's getting close. I know when I returned from calf injuries, I had to get 3 good sessions under my belt. He's a lot younger, so I dare say it's going to be sooner than that.
Do you actually prefer the 10 days off, or would you prefer to get straight into it?
No, I would have loved it if we could have gone straight into it. You lose, you know, a bit of that momentum. It just feels like you become professional trainers as opposed to professional players. And this time of year, once you qualify for finals, you just want to get out there and play. So it's not too many more sleeps away, but it's like Christmas, the start of December. All you can think about is the 25th, and that's kind of how it's felt going into the finals.
Tell us about Brisbane and how you beat them.
Oh, look, if you focus on one player in particular, they got 2 or 3 other guys that can step up and really hurt you. So Cam Glidden's one of the premier shooters in the league. Jace Kenney can get going, but then obviously you've got Patterson, who's a first-team All-NBL player and an absolute superstar. you take your focus off those guys, and I thought Mika Vakona was one of their best players in the last few games and helped them qualify for the finals. So, you know, Mika and Gibbo, they've been there, won championships before, know what it takes from a leadership perspective, but then they've got some good, really good young talent, and guys like Glidden, Kadee, Hodgson, just to name a few.
A few of the experts are writing about matchups, and they say that Patterson's your biggest concern, and they actually said that you probably should take him. Is that one player that you could actually take on the game?
Oh, I dare say at times, you know, the three guards, we matched up on different perimeter plays throughout the course of the game, so I had a few minutes guarding him in Brisbane. He's big, he's strong, he's smart with the ball, so yeah, he's a really good player, so I look forward to the matchup if it happens that way, but I dare say I'll be starting on Glidden to begin the game, and you know, they've got great matchups throughout the course. You know, the Bairstow, Nick Kay, what a great matchup that'll be to watch. Angus Brandt and Hodgson, the two Australian Boomers players, so across the board there's a lot of fun matchups, and whoever gets put on Patterson to begin with obviously has a big task at hand.
A lot was made of Trev's comments about illegal screens that Brisbane have set, and Brisbane say they don't set any illegal screens. Have you worked on any ways of getting around the illegal screens?
No, that's actually the first time hearing of it, but oh, look, they've got really good shooters, and if you get caught up on a screen, there's a good chance Cam Glidden's going to knock down a three, or Gibbo's going to knock down a three, Jace Kadee. So it's a matter of just making sure you're not going out there to try and draw attention to it in the hope a ref calls it, because they might only call one out of a handful, which means those four they don't call, you know, probably getting punished for. So you never play hoping that a referee is going to make the call. You just got to try and get through it, and if it happens and you get the call, fantastic. If not, hopefully you've done your job to still contest the shot.